You've always had an odd fascination with mannequins, how lifelike they seemed yet how soulless their gaze was. It started off innocent, a curiosity born out of too many hours spent window shopping. But when you moved into the small town of Sylvan Hills, that fascination turned into something darker. You've heard rumors about the old factory near the outskirts of town, but no one ever dared to speak about it for too long. They called it the Mannequin Factory, though it had been abandoned for decades. Some said it was once a thriving business, making mannequins so perfect they were almost human. Others whispered that it shut down because something wrong happened there, something no one wanted to acknowledge. One night, bored and restless, you decide to visit the factory. Just a quick look, you tell yourself. After all, the place was only a few miles away, nestled between the skeletal remains of trees and decaying buildings. As you step inside, the stench of damp and rot floods your senses. The dim light from your phone casts long shadows against cracked walls. The factory is massive with rows of rusted machinery, conveyor belts frozen in time, and mannequins, dozens of them, each one standing at odd angles, dust-covered and lifeless. You walk through the rows, noticing the mannequins seem different. They're not smooth like the ones you've seen in stores. Their skin looks textured almost like flesh, and those eyes seem to follow your every movement. Your breath quickens, and a chill runs down your spine. You turn to leave, but a faint creaking noise echoes through the hall. You freeze as something shifts behind you. Slowly you turn around. One of the mannequins has moved. It stands a few inches closer than it had before, its head slightly tilted as if it's watching you. Your heart starts to pound in your chest as you back away. But as you do so, another mannequin shifted, this time in front of you. And then another. One by one, the mannequins start to move, their stiff limbs creaking, their lifeless faces twisting into grotesque grins. You sprint through the maze of machines and mannequins, but no matter how fast you go, you can hear them. The faint shuffling of plastic feet, the scraping of limbs dragging across the floor. They're getting closer. You burst through a door, slamming it shut behind you, gasping for air. The room you're in is small, a storage area of some kind. But the moment you catch your breath, you notice something wrong. There's a large table in the center, and on it, mannequins are being made. But these are different. Their flesh is too real, their expressions too human. As you step closer, you notice something horrifying. These aren't mannequins at all. They're people. People being turned into mannequins. Their bodies frozen in terror, mouths open in silent screams, their skin slowly hardening into plastic. A sudden noise behind you causes you to whirl around, and there in the doorway stands the factory's owner, or what's left of him. His face is twisted, his body stitched together with pieces of plastic and flesh. He smiles, revealing rows of jagged, yellowed teeth. "You like them?" He rasps, voice like gravel. It takes time to perfect them, but they always turn out beautifully. Before you can react, you feel something cold grip your ankle. You look down. A mannequin's hand, cold and rigid, has wrapped itself around your leg. Then another, and another. They drag you down, their faces hovering over yours, their eyes gleaming with a sickening hunger. The last thing you hear is the factory owner's voice, soft and menacing. "Don't worry, you'll make a beautiful mannequin." The world fades to black, and the last thing you feel is your skin hardening, your breath slowing, and your body freezing in place forever.